been asked about it already, but reports surfaced over the weekend that Andy Ruiz's team hadn't seen a contract and they hadn't signed anything. What was your thoughts on it all?
I saw a lot of fake news being reported. Andy Ruiz has signed a contract to take part in a rematch. He has got some questions, and I would expect him to have questions about fighting in a new territory like that. You know, where is it? What's the hotels? What's the commission situation? What's the travel details, etc., etc. His team and I have been in discussions from, well, almost from the moment that the other fight took place to confirm to them where the fight would take place. They expressed that Andy didn't want the fight to take place in the UK. They didn't have the say, but we decided to give it to them on neutral territory, which they're very happy about. Both promoters, myself and Tom Brown, have written to the governing bodies to advise them of the fight, the date, everything. So, yes, he's got some questions that will be answered, but he's already signed for the rematch.
Skirt. All right, fight fans, I'm going to slide in right there. So, if you guys don't know, Tom Brown, promoter, works with the PBC. He's already sent in his information to the governing body. Eddie Hearn has sent in his information, and the fight will be on. So, contrary to belief and all the rumors and everything, and of course, Andy wants to talk tough in the media as the champion. He wants to make it seem like he has leverage because he doesn't want you guys to understand how stupid the team around him were when they contracted the necessary terms to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua. But I'll digress because I'm going to go back to this in a second.
When you say he's already signed for a rematch, are you saying that he signed from the initial contract which had a rematch clause, or are you saying a separate contract has been signed, saying Saudi Arabia, December 7th?
No, the first contract takes care of all the venue information in terms of the decisions, etc., etc. So there is no new contract. We've followed the original contract, which is we decide where the fight takes place, etc. We've done that. The governing bodies have been written to by both camps to confirm the fights, and that's what will be happening.
Now, basically what Eddie Hearn just did for me, and what I'm going to explain to you guys is, he helped me understand what Manny Robles was saying when he was talking to Fight Hype and ES News, that they were going to honor the obligations of the contract. There is no second contract. You can't sign off the shit if everything was taken care of in the first contract. So basically what Eddie is pretty much saying is, oh, you already game, but don't follow through if you don't want to. And like I said in the last video, I could put these lawyers to work because it'll be much cheaper than paying your thick ass. And let's see when the next time you'll be jumping in the ring, because you're going to be stripped of every single one of those belts and the whole world is going to get a shot at them. But I'll digress.
Is that where there might be a sense of unhappiness then from Andy Ruiz's side that they haven't had more of a say in the rematch?
They don't get a say. But they have had a say because we've given it to them on a neutral venue. So we could have just said, Cardiff, sorry. But they got their wish of a neutral venue. Congratulations. And, you know, at the end of the day, Andy Ruiz got a remarkable gift from us. He got a shot at the world heavyweight title for a lot of money. And as we know in boxing, when that happens, there is also a rematch clause in place. So he is contractually bound for that fight. He will take that fight. He will try and win that fight. He may win that fight. But, you know, one of the reasons that he got that gift is with all the other terms that came with it. So, you know, I've seen various fake quotes online that he was supposed to have said, but again, contractually, everybody knows where they are.
Contractually, everyone knows where they are. Andy Ruiz has no say. You heard it out of Eddie Hearn's mouth, man. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you Haymanites or just naive people in the world that just believe, like, if you sign a contract with a rematch clause, they discuss finances, purses, venues, percentages, and all of that shit. I don't know why you guys think that there's going to be an extra piece of paper that Andy Ruiz is going to be signing down on, like Andy Ruiz has some say. He better be lucky it's at a neutral venue. He better be lucky you're going to be smelling Saudi Arabian air than listening to over 70,000 angry Brits screaming at his ass, oh, Anthony Joshua. So just take it in stride. So whatever power that you guys believe that Andy Ruiz has, those feeble-minded, just confused individuals that you are, just know that the man standing right here with that ironclad contract, that's his kryptonite. And if he doesn't want to play ball, I'm going to tell you what, like I said, those belts will be stripped. They will be disposed all around the world like some goddamn infinity stones. And Anthony Joshua and the rest of the world will be going around collecting them, and he will not have a dime to his name. I promise you that. He will be fighting December 7th. So when you hear Steve Kim and Mike Coppinger and everybody tell you, hey, you agreed to the obligation, you were in a voluntary position, you got blessed this opportunity, just like Eddie Hearn has told you, just like I've told you guys on several times, several occasions, on several videos. This has been my sentiment and my truth ever since the start of us having this conversation. So you guys just got to understand, man, like, what leg does Andy Ruiz really have to stand on, man? He's like a fucking fire hydrant that every dog is going to be walking past in Matchroom pissing on. Because, to be perfectly honest, you gave up your rights the moment you signed down on that dotted line, and you didn't cover yourself on the financial end. But I said that on my last video. My whole thing is Andy Ruiz has no say in anything that is going on. Nothing at all. But I'll digress and save the rest for my closing argument.
Finally, before I do let you shoot, what are your thoughts with regards to the human rights out there? For example, how women's been treated, or the ban on alcohol, etc. What are your thoughts on it all?
Well, the ban on alcohol.
I mean, for British.
Yeah, Eddie, I'm almost gonna have to say right here that if you had bigger offers, man, you should have took them, man, because the ban on alcohol, god damn, that's a step back right there. You know how many people want to go to a fight and have a good ass drink, and you gonna take that away from them in a dry country? But hey, that's how they live their life. At least you know nobody gonna be getting in no car accidents. But I'll digress.
British boxing fans, that's obviously, we know when you go to British fights over here, British boxing fans, they love to have a drink, etc. It's going to be very different for them out there to try and manoeuvre away from that. What are your thoughts on that?
As Omar said, at least you'll remember the fight the next day. For us, this is about staging a major event. And what I do know is all the events that I've seen out there have been so well received by the public, by the people. And if they can create events where the public are enjoying and from a sporting perspective participating in, it's great for the sport of boxing.
Alright, fight fans, so I'm not going to sit up here and act like there aren't a couple of red flags that run with Saudi Arabia. I've said a couple of things on the last videos, but I just said, one of my favorite books, you need to be more careful. You've got to watch, your surroundings, know the lay of the land. Know what you can and can't get into when you go over there. Just don't go over there being angry, just belligerent and stupid. But the fact that they're taking the alcohol out of the equation leaves a less likely chance for belligerence and stupidity. But that just all depends on how many people want to go over there. Like I said, it does get a little bit touchy for women over in those Saudi Arabian areas. But like I said, man, everything twists and everything changes in different countries. But the only thing and the most important thing that we need to know is that there will be a fight going on. And like I said, so contrary to belief, Andy Ruiz has been dropping fake news on you via the PBC. He wants to create rumblings and stir-ups and probably try to see if they can manipulate and twist things to their favor. But like I always say, you tell me one situation that hasn't gone without a problem when Al Haymon is involved. Anytime that there's an event that involves Al Haymon, it always encompasses problems. It always encompasses problems with the fighters. And I don't even think that's the fighters of themselves. I just don't think they have the backbone to deal with things on their own. And just like most fighters over in the PBC, they probably didn't even do their homework either. You know what I mean? They always got somebody's hand in the cookie jar. They got someone's hand, somebody else's thoughts weighing on their mind on what they can say and what they can't say. Bosses make moves on their own, but when you have a ventriloquist pulling the strings of the puppets, hey, this is what you get. You get Andy Ruiz, who's going for a humble, happy kid, just happy to be in the situation, just breathing in the fresh air of the heavyweight titles atmosphere and MSG, and just getting historic nod. Or you get, and then you get the other guy, the guy that starts speaking in what Bruce Vane likes to call Al the Haymaker, in the dark ways of Al Haymon in the PBC. I mean, hey man, if Fox could fuck up a wet dream, they absolutely would. Fox PBC, I should say. But all I can say is, guys, get ready for a hell of a fight. Take out all of the, the extra little hoopla and the BS that everybody wants to sprinkle on it. If Matchroom isn't necessarily talking about it, then anything that anybody else is saying is a fabricated means. It might hold some rank, it might hold some water, it might hold some truth, but it would have to be confirmed due to the figureheads and the bosses over at Matchroom, because they're sanctioning this event. This is their championship event. This guy is a volunteer. He should just be happy to be there and happy to hold those belts and happy to get another purse like that. Because if Andy Ruiz did not win that match, it would fade in obscurity. There wouldn't be anything coming other than that $7 million and back down to being on the undercard of undercards, fighting guys like Alexander Dimitriko early in the day on Fox with so many spaces in the seat. Shit, you can a rich nigga wouldn't even want to comp that. But I'll digress. Hey man, like I said, man, we should be happy with the fact that we're getting the event, that we have some resolutions, and just understand that Uncle Eddie is going to go to work. Eddie Hearn is going to put his work in. Eddie Hearn doesn't never take his foot off of the gas. If we want results, you'll get results in Matchroom. And that's what we have right here. That's why you have contracts in place that are ironclad, so nothing falls apart. Signing what? There is nothing else to sign that hasn't been signed already. Because if you ladies and gentlemen were ever in any doubt, here you go. This should put your rest. This should put your fears to bed. All Anthony Joshua fans, this should put your bullshit Chihuahua bark in the bed. All you LDBC PBC cock riders. Look at the tweet. He's telling you. He's been signed on. Andy Ruiz just making waves and blowing hot air because he wishes that he would have crossed his T's and dotted his I's on the back end, because he would be getting a much more healthy, significant purse than his actual physique already presents in this picture itself. So that is all I got to say to you guys right now. As we always say, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. And remember, I will be off of this for a week. I will be back next Saturday. Respect though.